The original Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning released in 2012 and was a failed MMO project turned single-player experience. I picked up the game for the first time in 2023 and it quickly became one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. Kingdoms of Amalur was praised by critics at the time, but undersold, shutting down the company. Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning was only supposed to be one entry into the new franchise that was going to be the world of Amalur. But this game did develop sort of a cult following back then and did get a remaster in the year 2020 with Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, which is going to be the version that I'm playing today. The biggest upgrade you get from Reckoning to Re-Reckoning is that firstly you get the 2 DLCs of the main game free along with Re-Reckoning, as well as the level scaling. You see, in the first game, once you beat the entire game, all of the low-level zones and all of the monsters in the world just died to you in one hit easily. But in Re-Reckoning, it sort of scales the world along with you a lot more, creating a lot more endgame content, which was the biggest problem in Reckoning. I blasted through the original game in almost all of the quests that it had to offer within around 60 hours, and I was left wanting more. And Re-Reckoning is going to offer that more for me today. Now, I'm going to be playing on casual difficulty since I prefer playing RPGs and games like this on said difficulty. If they offer more rewards or increased gold or experience, I usually consider it as an option. I'll jump into harder difficulties in a game like Diablo 3, for example. But
now, well into the second decade of the conflict, have we begun to understand the mistakes we have made.
Let's enjoy the opening of this
We
game.
lived in harmony among the Fae, in a world awakened to new magic. Perhaps we should have foreseen what might be born on this rising tide. What force might awaken. A force powerful enough to twist even the eternal and immutable Fae folk.
The Lord of the Rings vibes from this intro are extreme.
Gadflow, the new king of the Winter Court, surprised us all. Singular among his people, he was all that other Fae were not. Aggressive, ambitious, visionary. He had power like none we had ever seen. Terrible and deadly.
I think we found our bad guy.
Gadflow and his followers, the Tuatha Deon, believed that a new god was to be born in the east, beneath Gadflow's crystalline fortress of Amathen. In the name of that god, they marched to war against the young races of Amalur. Against a mortal army, no matter the power of their god, we might have been victorious. But the Fae are creatures of magic, not bound by the laws of life and death. Such to us are fallen on the battlefield would soon rise again, for the Fae do not know death as we do. How could we stand against such a force? For 10 years the war raged. For 10 years the armies of Men and Alpha fought and died. But as our numbers dwindled, we knew that it was only a matter of time. Our fate had been written. At least, that is what we believed. Until you died.
Our fate has been written is a really important line there. A huge part of this game is about fate and kind of determinism versus free will. It gets philosophical to some extent. It's an interesting, there's so much world building and so much lore behind this game. It's actually pretty shocking in all the dialogue and all the details, but it never really got respected or, it never got respected or appreciated for that because the game just died due to the lack of sales. And so many games want to start a franchise like this. Dead Island wanted to start a franchise like this. A lot of things try to do this, but I think Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning actually deserved it, but just didn't get it for whatever reason at the time. So spoiler alert, this is going to be the main character. This is going to be us.
Alpha, Garan, could even be a Jotun. Always a surprise, eh, Garan?
Eyes on the job, boy. Don't matter what it is. Dead's dead. And be thankful for that. All we've seen. Go on and pull back the sheet, though. It'll need to be in our report, one way or the other.
This is going to lead us into character creation. Yup, exactly. Which I'm really excited to check out, man. I forgot about the races. There are, or genders. Choose gender. If you're more male, we have races. We have Almayan, Varani, Lejolsifor and Dulkulfer. Like they really, I think this is what I chose in my original. I want to recreate my original character in a lot of ways. This is definitely the guy that I'm picking. I feel like very tiefling-esque. I think out of these picks, I'm gonna go with the Dulkulfer. And then which blessing is this? Yeah, we're choosing our god, I assume. So Athene, god of wisdom and art, 10% mana, 5% health, love and beauty, god of death, mana poison. I think I just end up going none. I'm down to go for the XP boost. Let's go. We'll stay. We'll do an A religious run, sure. Preset 1, 2, 3. I think I just rock from preset 1, and we'll kind of continue on from there and adjust. I'm gonna make my character the way that I want and see you guys with it. I'm usually one to go decently deep into character customization, but the default character does have a lot of what I like, so we're gonna go ahead and mostly roll with it. We changed a lot of the hair colors and such to black, to more so represent my IRL look a little bit. But you know, you juice it up a little in games.
Are not usually in this good a shape.
Okay.
All right then. Make sure it goes into the report.
I promise you,
All the details.
this game won't be all cutscene. The beginning is just a lot.
Better than I've seen.
I'm just glad it's not moving. Must have been born under a lucky star, this one.
Anything else we need?
Unless you'd like to name him, I think we're done. Put him with the others.
I'm really happy with how beautiful the game's running so far. And her name, of course, we're gonna do Petrowski. This is my Retro Pat channel, but this is the name that I go by pretty much everywhere. They're about to dump me into a fire, aren't they? A nice little incinerator. Or is it just a pile? Oh, no, I remember. This is just a pile of dead bodies down below, isn't it? Jeez, this is a brutal opening. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Ugh, brutal opening for a game. Definitely enough, and you wake back up. Not actually dead. Brave way to start the game. Jeez Louise. Shakily stands up. Okay, man, get me out of here. Ugh, the slippery sounds. That is brutal. Show me the menus. I'm excited to see. This game was so good about combining abilities and combat. My main character, when I played this on 360, my initial playthrough was on Xbox 360. My initial character used like a big hammer, mostly like a melee combat character, which is not what I usually do in games. I'm usually more of an archer. This game has a lot of the main playstyles you would expect: archer, mage, melee-based combat. You know, you can do dual wielding, big heavy hammer, yada yada. I put the FOV on max in the settings before jumping, and I might want to change that. It makes things look pretty trippy though. You can still see the pile of things, just all the flies and the detail. Yeah, I'm gonna change the FOV really. Let's go through the basic menus. Inventory, you know, your weapons, your armor, etc., etc. People called this at the time, and I still think it's a great way to describe it, almost like a third-person Skyrim. It's almost like if you combined, I guess, the Diablo combat in Skyrim, in my opinion. In my opinion, I really like, over the Diablo games that I've played, Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, I really preferred this game's combat. I remember going from this game to playing Diablo 3. It was really, there were still great positives about Diablo 3 I could talk about, but this game, in my opinion, had the superior combat for sure. All right, here is the default field of view, and this is a huge difference from where I had it drawn out to. I think I'm going to keep it here for now. I think you get a really, really good representation of the character. We might draw it back a little bit. It might be a little too far forward. We could even actually go to settings, I think, and at least pull it back a bit. Camera height. How's this going to make it look? It's actually so much to... Or camera distance. That's actually what I'm looking for. Let's keep that there. Let's keep camera distance and pull it all the way back and see how this looks. Yeah, this is actually kind of what I'm looking for. I don't need the I don't need the FOV changed. I just need the camera distance back a bit. So you hold A to run, or I assume it's like shift or something on PC would be my guess, which is a little abnormal for a game like this, but not bad. B is your little dash. There is a little dash and parry system similar to like a Dark Souls game and stuff like this, and it's already encouraging me. I love game design. It's the easiest thing in the world to include in an open world game. And it's one of the best things to encourage. I come up here, the map is showing me, hey, head this way. If I take the time to actually head over here, I get a really quick little reward of 15 gold. It's the easiest way to encourage exploration for the rest of the game. If you tell your player that once at the start of the game, they're going to do it for forever from that point forward. It can be a really positive thing to encourage. We can pull levers and interact with the world. Now, does that really do anything for us? Not really, right? But it shows us we can pull levers, which is what they're trying to teach us. They're teaching us things without them actually having a, severe impact yet. They're teaching us things for the future, which is always something I encourage in teaching something that could be powerful in the future in a casual way, which doesn't really super impact the game yet, is always a positive in my opinion. They're all overrun. How do I... Okay, X is to swing. I'm rocking this with a 360 controller just because... Oh, that blood-curdling scream. This game is also said to have some of the best barrel breaking in any video game, which is a hilarious... Oh no, did that person... Was that from the person that screamed? I don't think so. That looks like it's from a gnome. Take care of some giant rats. I think it was a woman's scream that we heard. You can smash all the barrels where possible. Head back this way. This game looks really good. I've played, the original on 360, and I thought that looked really good, but the updated graphics and being on PC makes a huge difference. You can kind of slash, and then before the animation finishes, start moving again. So there's some really good combat mechanics in this. Being able to flash and then roll pretty much every time can become the meta. It can be really important to learn those sort of movement mechanics and get those muscle memory in as soon as possible. Now, this is one of the weirder parts of the game, and I would argue one of the weakest parts. There is no jumping in the game normally. You have to press on that to jump down. You have to find little... You have to find the ability to jump. It's almost like Gears of War. How in Gears of War... I should have rolled differently. There we go. In Gears of War, you can only jump until you find a surface that allows you to jump. It's kind of the same in this game, unfortunately. I think if this game had that freedom to jump, it would it's crazy how much adding a freedom to jump whenever you want makes the player feel so free with their movement. It really gives you a lot of feeling of that freedom. But this is the guy who put us away, and he's gonna explain he did something to keep us alive. So he assumed that we were dead. He's the guy that dropped us off into that pit of a bunch of dead people. And now I'm going to ask him, what happened, right? What worked, right? The Well of Souls.
It worked. The well restored your soul to your body, and it worked. We must get you to Professor Hughes right away. He'll have questions for you.
I have some questions myself. So we gotta go get to Hughes. We've got to have, the Well of Souls explained to us. We have tons of questions.
Right this way.
Let's check out the weapons and armor we do have access to, though. Put on whatever we can. We got some old boots. Sure, it's our first little boots. We've got some healing potions. Can we keybind those? Are those already keybound? Keybinding those is super important. Adding these to our radial. Perfect. They give you a lot of slots. This is a lot of slots back then. To be able to keybind this many things is pretty darn impressive in my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and keybind it here. Sure, why not? Or probably up. I like having it actually... I just accidentally used one. That's kind of unfortunate, but that was stupid of me. Okay, I'm going to keybind it upwards. So if I press LB and then I push upwards, I can use it then, which is good because I think having a panic upwards for a heal is good. We're going to smash some more barrels, of course, because obviously I have to in every single room. Smash as many barrels as possible. And dude, I just love the graphics of this. So I kind of see the white. You can kind of see the infinite space under with your camera, which is kind of funny that's even possible. But dude, this looks beautiful. The spinning wheels and just the overall graphics of this. Which way are we even supposed to go at this point? Okay, he's yelling at me because I'm taking too much. I'm wasting too much time. We got to go this way. Okay. Have I looted this body? I like how whenever you haven't looted a body, dude, that's a really good sign of clarity that just isn't appreciated enough. The glow on that body to let you know whether it's been looted or not. So many games still don't do that. So many games you'll have to just hover over each body and just see if you looted or not. Spam the A button over everything. This game is so good about that clarity. It's it's a really important thing that just isn't talked about, right? We're gonna set up some sort of crystal explosion, okay? And just this visual to me. The wisps of green light heading upwards. These glowing emerald type pillars. Okay, this water isn't toxic to me. I can walk through it. That's fine. My health and mana are in the top left. I think I get tired as well, or there's some sort of stamina system if I'm not mistaken. Or no. I think it's like an I have to remember. It's like an ultimate charge system, essentially. Almost similar to like a fighting game in the top left. I'm pretty sure is what that actually becomes. You're able to unleash later on, which slows down time and like doubles your damage and stuff. It's pretty incredible. Get a shield. All right, where is going to be over here on the map? I will say, this is a positive and a negative for this game, okay? You can play this game however you want to. You can be super zoned into the world and experience every little thing and listen to every NPC and learn a ton about the lore and yada yada yada. Or you could turn your brain off, okay? This is a legit good game to turn your brain off and just follow the waypoints. This is a game where like people who are against waypoints and against fast travel and stuff, they would hate this game, and that's understandable. Play how you want to play it, for sure. This is a game. There were definitely times where I would just turn my brain off and just... The combat is so fun. Even if the story was trash and even if there was zero lore, it still would just be an incredibly fun time because of the combat and the ability to just turn your brain off and follow the waypoints. Here's our quest log to equip the longbow. Sure, for the quest. You got me, dude. Is it secondary only? That's weird that it's... Oh yeah, I forgot. Wait, you get a secondary and a primary weapon. How do I switch between them? There's some way to do that. Oh, it's X and Y. So X, that's actually so genius. You don't even have to switch between them. You're able to equip 2 different weapons at once, and that actually comes up a lot in combat. Being able to have a melee weapon and a ranged weapon adds such, complicated combat complexities, and you love to see it. So I can slash with X or shoot with Y, and you would think that maybe you want to just use maybe that's bad because you end up always wanting to have a ranged weapon, but that's actually not true at all. From my experience, when I played my main character, what I ended up doing is I would put a very slow dual wielding heavy hammer on my Y key, and then like a fast dual wielding dagger type weapon on my X key. So I'm able to switch between like fast attacks and heavy attacks, once again similar to like a fighting game style, which is really, really, really cool. I think it just, once again, it's I haven't really put the time into, and I'm excited to do that with this series. I haven't really put enough time into thinking about why I love the combat in this game so much, but replaying it is going to give me the ability to express those feelings into more thought out words and explanations, because I do feel like the combat in this game is just, oh my goodness, it's perfect. It's magnifique. I think it's some of the best combat. It's easily the best like top down ARPG. Would that be the correct like action RPG combat that I've ever played? I love it so much. It's so incredible. This game, I played some of the best combat I've ever played in games in the year 2023. Now stealth mode, I don't think I ended up ever using this too much, but you can if you want to. Am I supposed to just like stealth archer him? I don't think stealth archer is nearly as good in this game as it is with Skyrim. Maybe I wasn't supposed to do that, but that's okay either way. I'm gonna fire some shots, dodge some shots, move closer, tank a shot because not good at the game. Smash him there. Casual difficulty, by the way. Like no damage from an arrow. We're not here to show off how good I am at the combat. Okay, that's not what we're here for. It's more so just fun and a brain off. If I want to turn the difficulty up later in the storyline, I believe I can. I think you can adjust it at any time, similar to Skyrim once again. I'm just really excited to be able to play this game more indefinitely. Like I said, the biggest issue is why I wouldn't recommend buying the original. If you want to play this game, please don't go buy Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. I kind of don't recommend it. I recommend just skipping to Re-Reckoning, because what happens is you just skip out and you miss out on, like I said, you miss out on the end game. Not being able to continue playing really hurt, which sucked for me. Abilities. Oh yeah, this is gonna be similar to. It's kind of similar to Diablo, but I think Diablo just has them outright. What I think of when I think of a right trigger to start using your magic abilities and stuff, I think of Dungeons and Dragons Daggerdale. That's a comparable game to this that I really, really, really loved. I really liked Dungeons and Dragons Daggerdale. Now that game had like that game was, what's the word? Soulless, okay? Very soulless game. Super true, but it had great combat, and I have some really cool memories of like staying home sick and just playing Dungeons and Dragons Daggerdale all day with random people on Xbox Live, in like a 4-player co-op. There was some fun. You know, there's not many games I feel like nowadays. I can't remember the last time I've done this where I have played co-op randomly with people online. I haven't done that since like Borderlands 1. Yeah, like since Dungeon Defenders back in the day, Dungeons and Dragons Daggerdale. Like, I'll mostly just tough it out with the single player experience as long as that's, you know, possible or plausible at all. Little spider spawn, giant spider. We're gonna try to get our rolls in where possible, but pretty just easily. Nice little flowing combat. There's a little cubby over here that I didn't check out yet. I do want to go check it out. Once again, little cubbies that reward you for exploring. Not a crazy reward, but checking every little nook and cranny becomes a mainstay of Kingdoms of Amalur, similar to Skyrim. If I'm not checking every single dead body in Skyrim, I'm not playing it right, personally. That's how I feel for sure. So I need a staff to be able to burn through this. We're gonna switch over to that. And go for a quick little burn on the webs. Easy peasy. Are they weaker to fire? I can't really tell. I'm gonna hit him with a arrow shot while I can, and then smack him with it. Yeah, it says vulnerable. It's something I literally don't even remember. I feel like it's something I probably didn't pay enough attention to. Look at that little style of, you know, smacking them with your fire staff and then finishing them off with a nice little shot. Something I don't remember is, like, yeah, the vulnerability in the typings. Actually, I do with later stuff. Later stuff, I'll start running into, like, giant ogres or, like, cyclopses. And there's just certain enemies, like, you won't do any damage to unless you're using piercing or some specific sort of weapon type that is able to hurt. Like, it's pretty insane, the difference of damage you're able to output with different typings and stuff. So I do kind of remember that a bit more with at least with certain monsters, but not with spiders. I don't think I ever bothered with spiders, was probably the main thing. Looted this area pretty well. Let's just continue forward. There's a lot of these like windy little turns and roads, and I think I remember reading up something about how there's not many loading screens in Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, but there's those little, it's almost like Half-Life, where you'll like cross a corner and then you'll get that loading screen. Let's see if I can trigger it again. Let's see if it does that. I think it's just loaded, so now it's fine. But once I crossed this corner before, it like took me a second to load. And it sort of, some games will like disguise load times by disguise loading screens. It's essentially a quick little thing.
We can hold off the Tuatha here.
That 95%, they're teaching us speech.
I suppose these might be.
We're gonna make this guy help us. I'll fight with him, of course. Sounds good, sounds good. I think he wants us to get out of here and get over to Hughes. A lot of these guys got injured. Or little gnomes, dwarves, whatever they are. Let's go ahead and grab whatever we can here. We get rewarded for completing the basic tutorial. Gets us a bunch of chests and armory to loot here, apparently. Let's smash these barrels. I want to switch back. I don't think I want to do a mage build here, but we'll see. I might mess around a bit more. I don't think I've seen the skill tree yet. I will say, you don't unlock the ability to even put stuff into the skill tree a little later, if I remember correctly, a little later than you probably should. I feel like they should have been a little more, what's the word, liberal with the skill points. I feel like they kind of gave them out really sparingly, at least early game, and then later game they gave them out way more aggressively, and it's like, oh, well, this would have been a little more fun to distribute a little more evenly and have access to early on, but they probably shouldn't want to overwhelm the player with different types of combat and such. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Can I equip both of these? I don't know if I can. Maybe I just can't. I probably can't dual wield yet. So we're gonna rock the, no, I think I do rock one of the daggers still. No, I'll rock a sword. We'll do secondary. This guy has 9. No, I feel like this is easily my best weapon, though. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. Okay, for now, I am going to actually keep with the staff. And we'll do the bow on the main. Okay, sure. That works for me. And then armor. I'll do the basic upgrades here and see you guys in a sec. All right, now some quick things to note. If I'm not mistaken, I think you can actually equip a shield no matter what type of weapon you're wielding. So you kind of always get a shield equip if I'm not mistaken, which is really cool. And then secondly, you do have durability. So the little smithing symbol up there next to the armor, your armor and weapons and stuff do, I think just maybe your armor, not your weapons. Maybe it does. They do wear down over time and you do have to sort of heal them. Now, it doesn't really matter. On casual difficulty, I feel like I never encountered an issue with this, but I think if you die as well, if you just get hit a lot and or you die, it does, you know, take damage. You'll have to repair it more and it costs you more gold. But maybe on higher difficulties, I'm sure it's a huge part of the game, but I don't have to worry about it too much. And you also have the add to junk thing. If you see all the Y key at the bottom of the screen here, add to junk, I'm going to start doing that. And that's a great way to sort your inventory on the fly. This essentially throws everything into a junk pile. And once you're at a shop later on, you can click one button that says sell all junk, and it's so nice. You can also access your junk here, like if you want to accidentally unjunk something, but it's just so nice to be able to actually organize your inventory while doing dungeons and on the fly, as opposed to having to do it all at one time once you finally get to a shop. Once again, a wildly underrated mechanic that probably should be in most RPGs like this, in my opinion. We've also gained a lot more potions and some things like repair kits and lock kits, etc. Repair kits are going to help us with that durability issue we just talked about as well. Let's head out into the real world for the first time in quite a while. Well, actually, not quite. We're still in this, this green dungeon type area. They teach us to, you know, move around. Of course, probably should have already been, you know, moving our camera. If you aren't moving your camera yet, what are you doing? But this little circle we can loop around. Once again, so if you take the long path, or the short path, over towards the staircase, you would have missed this book. I don't know if this book really tells us or teaches us anything, but it is cute. Experiments are now successfully recreating bodies 97.5% of the time. Any missing limbs or extra fingers are now probably how the originals would look, rather than a magical flux on our end. However, full revivification still eludes us. So we can see they're trying to work on this. Is from Hughes. That's a Hughes, the guy we're trying to find. That's his diary log. So he's obviously trying to work on some sort of way to revive the dead. And we're about to go be his first subject. Like, hey, it worked. You revived us. You actually did figure out somehow how to, you know, bring people back from the dead. Pretty impressive. Let's go tell him. Let's go be the first to deliver the news.
You've made it, and look at you. Even with all you've been through, the Tuatha, your return from the dead. Please forgive me. You must be terribly confused by all of this. I am Fomerus Hughes, and this is my laboratory at Alistar. Everything you see here is dedicated to one thing: the Well of Souls, the pursuit of immortality. And you're my first success. If we only had the time, there's so much we might learn from one another.
It's very Dragonborn-y, very, you're the one hero that could save the world sort of, you know, fantasy trope.
Come to stop my work, but I don't believe they know about you. Not yet. What's important is getting you out of here safely. You're the only proof of what we've achieved here. I may not be able to save the well, but I can ensure that its only success is safe.
So if we don't survive, we can't even prove that his theory and stuff works. So it is really, really important for us. Let's just go ahead and get out of here.
It's just that you're... Wait. Fascinating. Simply astounding. I'm not certain what's caused it, but somehow... yes, as I was saying, I'm not sure what...
Probably should beware of the rumbling, dude.
Perhaps I should go see. Sir, Mr. Hughes, the Tuatha have...
He's about to die, isn't he? I saw that coming a mile away. No, it's still sad. Yeah, I've played this before, but I forgot about that death. You can just tell it's gonna happen.
Quickly! Follow the path to the town of Gorehart. Find Adam.
Gorehart.
He's a friend, and he may be able to help. No matter what else, stay alive!
Is our creator about to die? Okay, he's kind of got some schmoves. He just sacrificed himself for us, essentially. It's unfortunate. Our recreator. We gotta head out this way. We probably could go... I don't know if there's anything to loot on the way, but I want to get out of here as soon as possible. Reach the surface, reach the town, see some sunlight. You know I'm pressing A. The crumbling build... You love it. You love a good building crumbling scene as you're making your way out of something. How could you not? Oh, I forgot. I'm on bow on X, staff on Y. We're gonna stop his attack. Oh, you have some solid range. Whoa. I'm really shocked at how much range I actually had on that staff. Way more than I expected. Once again, I want to see the surface. I want to touch grass. Said no gamer ever, okay? But we're changing the stereotype today. Oh my god, I forgot. I was like, I'm pretty sure I have to fight some big boss before I really make my way out of here. And here we go. Oh, I should have rolled. I don't know why I just sat there. Do I have decent range? I can roll though. I want to take care of his ads first. And then I can focus a lot more easily on him. The slow-mo? That's such a good effect. The slow-mo, if you... Oh, he has like a little ranged attack. If you roll him like that at the perfect time, you get a little slow-mo. So he is actually resistant to the... Look at that little slow-mo effect. You could actually see it there. He's resistant to the staff. So I'm going to go for the longsword here. That's a lot better. That's so much more damage. Crazy angle here, but it's working. Oh, I couldn't roll. See, there's so many times like that where you're both going for the heavy attack where you can't go for the roll. And he is dead Reno. Oh, I forgot about the finisher kills. Wait, I'm pressing A. Let me do it. Wait, I'm 100% pressing A. Do I have to right trigger plus A? Oh, I forgot about these. I totally forgot this game has like a QTE system with XP bonuses. How did I forget about that? That keeps the combat like way more engaging than you would expect. Even though like it doesn't even need that. The combat would already be engaging without that, like heavily so in my opinion. Oh, this is the... I love this. I love this first starting zone. It's so beautiful. The grassy greens. I'm excited, man. This is the aha moment of... I loved this tutorial, and I'll never forget leaving that area and breaking out into this grassy scene for the first time and just being in love with the world. Like, this is a game, and this is a world where I immediately fell in love. Get a little achievement. I'm excited to go for tons of achievements in this game. I'm excited to explore Re-Reckoning. You know, I've explored the original. I'm excited to re-explore, critique, give my takes, have little rambles and discussions. And hopefully you guys will join me along the way. Or at least a little bit of it. But I think that this video has been long enough. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I'm really excited for this series. It's okay if you guys don't like it. Make sure to let me know by liking this video if you did enjoy it. Dislike if not. And leave comments and feedback. I'm just really excited to play this game. Whether it's on YouTube, with commentary, without. I love it. And I'm having a fun time. So hopefully you guys are as well. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more episodes like this and more content surrounding this game. I'll be seeing you guys later. Peace, Reno.